Welcome to Title Talk with your host, Drew Wishover, entrepreneur, a published author, and owner of Inspired Title Group, along with his co-host and CEO, Amy Maley. Each week, they offer you some laughs, industry terminology, tips and strategies, along with the occasional real estate professional to help educate you as it pertains to buying, selling, or just plain old homeownership. Thanks for spending time with them. Now, let's jump into today's episode of Title Talk.
Because we weren't here.
Here last week.
We weren't here. I'm not supposed to be here this week, but I am.
What?
Hey, yeah,
Oh,
right,
yeah.
right on. I wanted to take a minute to say thank you for tuning in to Title Talk. My name is Drew.
And my name is Amy.
We are here with a very, very special guest, and we have just been trying to get this gentleman on for some time now. That tells me that he's super busy. He's super in demand. We're super excited to have him and talk to him about some things. I'd like to welcome Andy Gaston from our wonderful lending institution called Highland
Highland Residential Mortgage.
Yes. Andy, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
This is an outstanding. Andy is somebody who we work very closely with in the business, and he is a mortgage guy, lender, all that fun stuff. I'm not gonna tell you all those things. I'm gonna let him tell you those things. Amy's got questions. We're gonna just jump right into this thing. Give it to him, Amy.
We don't want to let him introduce
Yeah, let him
himself?
do it.
Let's let him introduce himself.
All right.
Oh my God, so much pressure.
No. We're good.
Well, my name is Andy Gaston. I'm a VP of Mortgage Lending for Highlands Residential Mortgage.
Mhm.
I'm in this business for 18 years.
Wow.
Well, you look really good for
I
being
was
in
just
there
gonna
for
say
18 years.
Yeah,
That's
I
impressive.
started when I was 5.
Yeah, okay. That'll be our story. We'll stick to it. That's great. That is great. I like it. That's a good
Yeah.
deal. So, what is your? This 18 years. I'm sure you've seen a lot of things, right?
Yes. So started in subprime years.
Okay.
In 2005 as an AE for Freeman Investment and Loan.
Okay.
So yeah, it was fun for
Yeah,
a couple of years.
for
Then
sure.
obviously, as you know, the market crashed. So that wasn't very fun.
No.
That was
no.
not very fun.
Yeah. So
I wasn't old enough to work yet. That's what I'm saying.
Well, he was 5 when he started.
Yeah, so when I was 7,
the market changed a little.
the market changed a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I actually went to New York for during that time when it was like a downtime when
Interesting.
when the mortgage was imploding.
Yeah.
This website where all these different companies were imploding. First couple of years after when I was in New York, I didn't do anything with real estate or mortgage.
Yeah.
But the last 2 years of being there, I was a realtor.
Oh, really?
You were a realtor,
I
huh?
was a realtor, yeah.
How was that in New York?
In New York.
Okay.
So I started off doing rentals in the financial district in
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Wall Street.
Very
Oh,
nice.
cool.
And then I enjoyed it a lot, and I was doing well, and then I got promoted to do sales in Midtown.
Okay.
Yeah, till I went back to Chicago again in 2011, and
Very
went back
cool.
to doing mortgages.
That's great. That's a nice little
Interesting.
story.
That's
Yeah.
neat.
That's a nice little
Yeah.
story. Wow.
It helps a lot, knowing the realtor side.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm
So,
sure.
Are you currently licensed in Illinois too? Or?
I'm in Illinois,
Okay.
as well as Texas, Florida, Arizona, Nevada, California.
Oh wow.
So
Huh.
it was-
That's a surprise. I did not expect that.
Yeah, and I'm adding more. I already ordered the jersey, so that's coming too. My mind has no limits very much.
Uh-huh.
No, that's
Yeah,
really
so
great.
there's customers to help. and
Yeah,
help.
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think that's one of the reasons we enjoy working with you so much is like just some of the stories that we heard and some of the things we were talking about before we went on air here today, and just how you really gear your business to working with people. So we're definitely going to jump into that and hear some stories about that. But Amy, what you got for him in the
Cool.
world of
All
questions?
right. So you are at Highlands Residential Mortgage.
Mhm.
You said a VP there.
Yeah, well, what really that means is
I was gonna say,
I'm
what
a
does it
loan
mean?
officer.
You're a loan
Yeah,
officer.
So I'm a mortgage loan officer. So
Okay.
we help out customers, with preparing when they're purchasing and lowering down their payment or having cash when they want to refinance.
Yeah, that's great. That's really great.
That is good stuff because the obviously the marketplace right now is changing, and
Mm-hmm.
Very much.
everything that's going on in the world today has probably affected that. But I think that one of the things I'm excited to talk about and have you talk about was what we were talking about a little bit moments before we went on, and people are getting the stigma that, oh my gosh, interest rates are going up, and this is terrible, and you know what do we do? How do these things happen? But I'm gonna hold off on that and make that kind of our big thing here.
Okay.
So you've been doing it for 18 years. What draws somebody into this business? What brought you into wanting to do mortgages and real estate things? How'd you get into this?
Well, first, I think it's we're a different breed. It's
Yes,
you
we
need to
are.
have really the passion to really want to help people. Because
Awesome.
let's face it, it's a very stressful job. If you don't enjoy it, you're just not gonna make it. To be honest.
Yeah.
Very well said.
We just have to be really passionate and really want to be able to be there and help people.
That's awesome.
Because without that, you're not gonna survive. You're not gonna do well. Let's be honest. And to do it full time, all in, and go all out.
No, I respect
That's
that.
very
That's a great
cool.
answer.
Yeah, thank you for-
That's
yeah.
a really great answer, and I think that folks that are watching this, you can hear somebody's passion in their voice when they really enjoy what they're doing. Like
You can,
and,
absolutely.
and I don't think anything he said is untrue, because reality of this business it's not easy,
It's not.
and
yeah.
it's so ever changing.
Yes. People think it's so easy, and then there's so much to learn. So even for people that want to start being in this business, whether you're a realtor or you're in mortgages, there is a learning curve.
Oh, for sure.
And
sure.
you have to persevere, and you can't be the type of person that would quit every time there's something that there's a challenge.
Yeah.
So as a matter of fact, you should be welcoming all these challenges and see it as a learning experience.
Yeah. Agreed.
We're gonna make mistakes. We're human.
No.
There's so much to know. There's so many guidelines. There's so many rules to know.
Yeah.
And if you think you know everything, it changes.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be something else.
Right? So you have to be really flexible and
Yes.
and be able to adjust on many things. So and that's where the fun part comes too, and and able to do different things, and it's not really the same every day.
Right, the
It's
creativity.
different.
Like you do have some abilities to have some creativity within what
Correct.
it is, because everybody that you sit with is not in the same financial circumstance to
course.
understanding saying,
Right.
Yep.
I need help with this, or this is an
Absolutely.
issue that I need to overcome. And I don't think that maybe the general population understands the role that you can
Mhm.
play in helping them kind of navigate through
Right.
something, right?
Absolutely, everybody's different.
Right.
Everybody has, different incomes and different debts and credit scores and situations
Yes.
and circumstance and, families and
Mhm.
what the situations
Right on.
where they work, and
Yeah.
there's so many different scenarios.
Right.
So there's no one size fits all for sure.
No. Go ahead, Aim.
All right. Why are you important to your clients, and how do you help them through this whole process? Or you're not. I'm just kidding.
Well, for me, that question is very simple. You just have to care. And we've been talking about going above and beyond, and I'll go into that what Inspire Title's done for me. But you just really need to care and actually be there for the customer instead of really thinking of us and
Yeah.
ourselves. When I think that's when the magic happens. Is if you really have the empathy and really the understanding and knowing who you're talking to and what situation they're in. And we take the time. We take the time to get to know that and ask all the questions and customize the solution.
Right,
for
right,
them. So
right,
again,
right.
it's everybody's the same.
No, that's great. That's really cool.
I think that the just taking a point of what you said there, we talk often about trying to align ourselves with people that are of the same mentality and mindset, right? And when you say that having the passion and caring for people and working on the the betterment of them, I mean that's what Inspire Title is about. That's why we've obviously connected with you, because we found
Absolutely.
that your end goal is to go, I'm gonna probably make a few dollars doing this, but wow, I really helped these folks get out of
It's
what
so
was maybe an
cool, yeah.
awkward, hard situation,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Let's do this. Let's dive into that story that you were talking about with regard to the interest rates being higher, and talking about how that actually you have been able to kind of find a way to, offset when people go, well, I just want a lower payment. How do you get a lower payment on a higher interest rate?
Usually people hear higher interest rates, I'm in trouble.
Yeah,
What do I do?
absolutely. So let's face it, in this environment right now, interest rates are higher. We can't do anything about it. That's what the market shows. We're at the 5% still,
Okay.
or higher.
Okay.
People don't realize when and everybody asks for a lower rate.
Yeah,
let's
sure.
face it. So people don't realize that if you ask for a lower rate, what you're really asking is a lower payment.
Right.
And people don't realize, even with a higher rate, you could lower your payment.
No, you can't.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Say this is so.
Absolutely. So, let's say, as an example, you have a $200,000 loan amount,
Okay.
and let's say you're on a 3.5%. What if I tell you that I'm able to lower the 200,000 into like a 150, and using the bank's money, and I'll get to that
Yeah.
later. So even with a higher rate at 5% and lowering the loan amount to 150 or 100,000, your payment would be lower because now you're calculating the higher rate with a lower loan amount, so now
Right.
the payment is lower.
Right.
And people don't realize that could happen.
Wow. Wow. I mean.
So how do I use the bank's money to do that?
So
Or you're a wizard. Can't divulge your secrets.
So I'm fortunate enough to come across a certain program. So this is my niche program.
Okay.
Where
Turn up the volume, folks. You're gonna want to listen to this.
So people don't realize that when you pay your mortgage, a lot of the payment goes to interest,
Okay.
right? So what I've been doing is using a home equity line of credit.
Mm-hmm.
So basically the bank's money, not
Right.
your own money, it's not coming out of pocket,
Mm-hmm.
and use that to pay off the first loan. Now there's a lot of education that comes with it.
Of course.
With this. People don't realize that the first loan acts very differently than a second loan.
Mm-hmm.
A first loan is an amortized loan. The second loan is a second loan. It's a non-amortized.
Right.
So even if the second loan is about a 7%, 8% rate, it's still a lower payment. It's still lower than a 3.
Mhm.
What I mean by that is because it's amortized. I don't know if you see an amortization schedule,
Yeah.
and you look at your payments. Most of it goes to interest.
Yep.
So, at 3% really acts like it's a 60% because it's amortized.
Right.
You
Yeah.
double it
So
down to 0.
crazy.
Right.
So what we've been doing is, we're lowering, instead of a typical 30 years of paying a mortgage, we are able to shorten it down to 5 to 7 years.
That's incredible.
That's insane.
I mean,
that is so
It's
cool.
such a feel-good program, and I've been helping so many people the past year and a half with this particular program, and
Good
it
for
just
you.
changes people's lives.
It really does, and
Well, it's got the goosebumps. That's
I
cool.
know,
It's
it's really
it's
cool.
very, very
honestly,
cool that that's how you
if,
talk.
If you guys want to hear more about this, I mean, Andy's information is right there behind him. We've got it in the chat as well.
Yeah, Brendan put it in the
You can
comments.
definitely
My
call
phone
him.
numbers.
You can definitely
side by side.
email him.
Yeah, we got the website, email
Yeah.
address,
Reach
all
out
over
to
there.
him,
Yeah.
and he'll be happy to talk to you about what he just kind of outlined a little bit, because even though interest rates are going up, there are other programs. There's so many programs out there that you just need to get in front of to determine what works best for you. And maybe that's not the one. Maybe there's something else out there. But let him help you and talk you through what that process is about, what it looks like. Because again, at the end of the day, the goal is to help you try to achieve your goal. If that goal is to lessen your payment, there are ways to do it, and there are creative ways to do it. Some of the bigger banks don't allow; they're a little more strict
Yeah.
Yes.
with what
Yeah.
you're
Correct.
able to do. When you go to a mortgage broker or a company that has the ability to kind of shop that loan around, they have more programs offered to them. Some of the brick and mortar banks here's our lending guidelines. This is what it is. If you don't fit in that box, you don't fit in that box.
Right.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
no, that's I mean, that story when he told it to us off camera, I know it blew Amy away, but it was something I'm like, you know what, we gotta absolutely have him share this to the audience, because I think this is good stuff to
No, it's really
Yeah,
great.
and it's hundreds of thousands of dollars of savings. So if you can imagine, if you're done in 7 years, that's 23 years of you not paying interest.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that this is reality. This could happen.
Yeah.
And now,
Call
because
in.
now you have all these savings, so instead of thinking of a homeowner and just thinking of a foundation for your family,
Yeah.
now you're able to think as an investor. Now you could maybe invest on an investment property where now you could think about having passive income, and now think about having money for your retirement
Absolutely.
and things like that. So it just opens up people's worlds.
And that's been a common
Yeah.
topic of conversation from many of our guests is creating residual income that can be placed elsewhere, as opposed to just constantly paying life. Start saving for your future. And the constant that we hear from this is save for you. Pay you first.
Absolutely.
Why not? And these are good opportunities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some people think like you're really rich when you have $1 million in your bank.
Right.
It's really not. I geek out into stuff. I'm nervous stuff,
Yeah.
but you really what you want to have is more passive income than your total expense.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So all these money that you're making while you're sleeping, and then while you're sleeping, you have all these expenses being paid.
Right.
Yeah, normal everyday expenses, utilities, cell phone bill,
Yeah.
car payment,
Everyday.
stuff like that. So what if you got, whether it's real estate, in this case, real estate, or
Yeah.
stocks or business, and then having all those money coming in while while you're sleeping and having your expenses being paid. That's when
That's
you're
great.
really financially
So
free.
That's
No.
really great.
If
And
you
now
guys-
you can do it with real estate. Now you're saving all this money, not paying all this interest. Now you can think, okay, maybe I could
What
invest in
else?
another property and rent it out, and now have all this money coming in, paying all the stuff that's going out.
Such good tips.
It
Such,
is.
such
It
great,
really, really
great
is.
knowledge things.
Yeah.
If you guys have a question for Andy, dump it in the chat. We'll try to get it to him while we're talking to him today. If there's something you guys want to know, if there's something that you're
Want
up
to set up an
against.
appointment?
Yeah, exactly. We'll take his, we'll be his secretary for today. That's okay. Yes. But no, certainly ask the question. And we got another question.
I mean, it's
for-
my favorite story. It's my
Oh,
favorite question
it is.
every week.
This is
Any
her favorite.
horror stories or really, really unexplainably happy stories that you need to share with the audience?
I had a horror story, and thanks to Inspired Title, that really helped me out a lot. I have
Thanks for the blood.
no, it's true, and that's why I love working with you guys. I have a dear friend I've known since college. I was doing her loan, and her husband was in the military and was stationed outside of the country in Africa. And in Illinois as a homestead state, we had to get his signature, and all these other title companies that we work with had a hard time trying to find a way for him to get the signature, or him to get involved and get it. And to a point where my friend was like, are you gonna get this done? Or
Right.
are we still gonna close? I mean, questions like, do you guys even like veterans? I'm like, no, it's not that. I love veterans.
Yes,
We
there's also the hate for the
we
veteran.
support veterans, and I'm like, but you're not able to get it done. And thanks to Inspired Title, and I'm gonna plug to Miguel.
Yeah.
I know he's not feeling well
Yeah,
today, but
yeah.
he saved my day because you guys found a way to get it done.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that, and that story wasn't pre-scripted for him to share. That was truly something that
No, that's real.
he did, and we that's the piece that we try to, when we worked closely with somebody, we try to service them to the ability of going, hey, he's thinking outside the box for the client, trying to get a deal done. We're going to think outside the box as a company to also help him get that deal done, and really partner with him to finalize the process, not to hinder the process and go, well, we can't do it, thanks for trying. But it's good to hear from industry professionals that are working with us that they appreciate that that line of, you don't know when you need a title company until you need a title company, and knowing what they can do. And have you had some good stories happen? Have you had some like positive things happen with
Besides what you just told
changing
us.
some of the
I just heard that last one.
That is a good story. I mean, it started out as a horror story and it ended well.
Yeah, it's it.
Yeah.
It did end well. But being in the business for 18 years, okay, so good, then tell us a horror story that didn't end well.
No, I don't want to hear that. I love that.
Well, unfortunately, those things happen as well. I mean, that
Yeah.
just breaks your
Yeah,
heart.
it does.
If you really come to think of it, we have someone's American dream in our hands.
Right.
Someone's foundation. Maybe it's a family that wants to stay away from a really bad neighborhood into a good neighborhood and school system. So unfortunately, there are times that things don't happen. Whether the credit score drops, or things like that, or people lose their jobs and things like that, which obviously we can't do anything about.
For sure.
So that breaks our heart. But one of these things that maybe we need to take one step back in order for us to take two steps forward. So it doesn't mean that at that time you're not able to close the loan.
Right.
But I would love to still keep in touch and work on whatever the reason was.
Right,
Whether
right,
it's
right.
if it's a credit score, maybe do a rapid rescore, maybe do a
Right.
credit repair or
Right.
something like that.
And I think that's wonderful, and that right there tells you that this is a individual who doesn't give up on you because of
Yeah.
this circumstance, situation that sometimes is not even your fault, and I think that's just very, very, it tells a lot about a person, and
Thank you.
thank you for sharing this stuff, and thank you for being who you are to the people out there doing this stuff, and we thoroughly enjoy working with you. Your deals come
Likewise.
in, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is an Andy deal. This one is, we know the steps, we know the process, we know what's behind it from the standpoint of he's done some work behind it to get some people in a good spot, and we just want to be able to participate with that as well. So
Thank you.
it's
We have a
been-
question from the audience.
We have an audience
Oh,
question.
wow.
Here it comes.
Are there different qualifications for a cash out refinance compared to a regular refinance to just lower my payment?
Yeah, so there's different loan to value difference, especially when we're mentioning the program that I mentioned.
Yeah.
So when people want to cash out, when you get a home equity line of credit, you could actually make it sound like it's a cash out, although it's a rate and term, and the cash out is really the line of credit that you get and use that money for whatever you need.
Yep.
Right.
And which is the reason why you want to cash out.
Yes.
Whether you want to improve your property, whether you want to pay off some bills, pay off some
Right.
loans, or in this case even pay off the first loan.
God, that's so
So
crazy.
when I do work with different HELOC wholesale companies where we can go all the way up to 97.5% CLTV, and I don't want to go technical with everybody, but with the equity and having so much money, you could have a line of credit. And what's good about these things is you can use it, pay it, use it again,
Right.
pay it, use
Yeah.
it again.
Right.
Unlike a first loan where when you pay it, then
Right.
you can't use it again. You
Right,
kind of like have
yeah.
you kind of
Yeah.
like have to pay it down.
Yeah.
So this is another great thing about a home equity line of credit, where you might get a rate and term refinance,
Right.
but then use the line and have the extra cash, and do whatever you need.
Yeah,
to cash out.
absolutely.
Oh.
So there are different rules. There's different credit scores and things like that, and combined loan to value. I'd love to talk to you about that and let you know about it.
Yeah, that's great. Give Andy a call. You reach out. His information is in the chat. His information is there on the screen. Why don't you give the audience how they can get a hold of you, best places to get you, all of that good stuff, and we'll get you on your way.
Yeah, thank you.
No,
To
thank you.
somewhere not very important.
Yeah, we're not
Just
going to we were not going to talk about that name.
Well, let me get a peek.
No, let's not. No, let's not. Never be on the show again. How can people get a hold of Andy Gaston?
You can, my work number is right on the screen there.
That's great.
Let me move it side by side here and see.
There you go.
My cell phone is 773-245-6261. Let me repeat that, 773-245-6261. And my email at agaston@highlandsmortgage.com.
Excellent.
So that's AGASTON, highlandsmortgage.com with an S.
It's been really a pleasure to have you here, and I thank you taking time of your day to just share some more stuff with the audience and maybe educate some folks a little bit. And
It's crazy meeting the man behind email. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I feel
yeah,
like you form these
absolutely.
relationships with people.
Yes.
Like working with them and to actually meet you has been very, very cool.
Likewise.
And
So it's been
enlightening
really
for
wonderful.
us.
Thank you
So
for
thank
having
you
us
so
here.
much.
Likewise.
Thank you for joining us
Thank
here
you
today.
so much.
We're going to go to a
Thank
quick
you,
little
I
break
appreciate
while
your
Andy
time.
goes, and you guys take a peek at a little clip here, and we'll be back with you guys in just a minute. Hang on, everybody. Awesome. That was awesome.
Yes. Round of applause for Andy. That was
I absolutely loved that.
No.
That was a really, really great interview. He is special. I really enjoy him to, take the time to come out here and just share the education of
it was
what he
really
does,
cool. And like I
right?
said, it's just so crazy working with people
Yes.
over a couple years and then actually being able to put a name to a face, and it's just
Yes.
just aligning with people like you talked about before. It is so cool to be able to Find
Love
people
it.
who have, like when he talked
You
about
saw
it.
the dresses behind us?
What are those?
Holy-
I'm just kidding. I know what those are.
I feel like I'm sitting in a closet.
Well, and sorry, we were just. I was very concerned with Andy, but that video you just watched. Thank you, Brittany, for putting that together.
Oh man.
So over the last week or so, we kind of have been putting some time and energy into this really cool. I never know what's gonna happen next. Brittany just has these ideas that come around, and I never know what's gonna happen next. So over the last week and a half, we have been collecting prom dresses from families, friends, people that we work with, and we're actually donating them to Eisenhower High School.
That's awesome.
So it was this big give back part of this is some people can't afford prom dresses,
Right.
and in order to help out the people that are a little bit less fortunate, we collected probably about 25 so far. I have 2 more at my house. I'm picking up 3 more on Friday. Like,
This thing's really taken
it's
off.
blown up like more than I
I'm
ever
so proud of you guys.
thought.
I just never, we had our meeting talking about our givebacks and the different things that we do, and you
The
hear
boys
an
even dressed up in some
yeah,
of these pictures.
I mean, you hear an idea, and then all of a sudden, you have no idea what's going to come
The
from it.
snowball.
And we've got 25 prom dresses sitting in our office.
I
was happy to wear one of them, but I'm not going to talk about that.
follow us on TikTok.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the center picture.
Oh my gosh, it was great.
We're taking a picture really quick. Hang on.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick picture from there. There you go. All right. So we saw all these wonderful, opportunities, and the people have just been
Yes.
contributing these dresses and dresses and dresses.
And I think the big thing for us with this was Brittany really wanted to find an organization that we didn't donate and they didn't sell back.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're able to just give them to a high school and they're able to give them to their kids, it's just
It is prom
makes-
season coming up,
it
right?
makes
I
my
mean,
heart so happy.
yeah, this- It just chokes you up because, you guys have said to me now numerous times over these last handful of days and even last week when I was out, just how humbling this is, and you guys just buying into this whole giving back, and you guys are excelling at this.
We are.
I'm really, really proud of you guys.
We really are, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn,
No.
but this is something that to be able to spend time during a business day to be able to focus on this stuff. I thank you to you for allowing us that freedom and opportunity. In case you want to see what other kind of things we've been up to over the last year or so, right above my head, we went to a little company, Mary Hospital, and we were able to donate. Jack and Pat's donated a tray of sandwiches to give to the X-ray. I'm saying that right? The X-rays, the
Yeah.
X-ray department.
X-ray department and the ER, right?
Yeah, I mean, golf outings, we did the NOCC walk, we donated that food to Together We Cope, we volunteered at Feed My Starving Children, I'm gonna forget one, Miracle League, we were able to do the golf outing with, Neighborhood Loans, we got to go hang out with them, bring some pizza, bring some lunch, we just love the people that we work with, and we're fortunate for the situation that we are in right now, so we
What'd you guys
like them
do
to
today?
back.
That's gonna come in fun facts.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute, and that's great.
No,
Brittany from the back.
save it.
Okay, all right.
So yeah,
Fantastic.
I am very lucky. We are very lucky to be a part of this
You guys
company.
are,
so.
yeah, I'm proud of you guys and keep killing it and
Blood drives, can't forget those. I did not pass out. For those of you that Drew has been saying that I was gonna pass out, I made it. I drank my water. I ate my lunch, and I did not pass out.
Yeah.
And Brittany, almost passed out.
Well, post
Hours,
post
hours
passed out. Yeah,
in a bathroom
that
floor.
doesn't count. Post passing
It's
out
okay.
doesn't
She's
count.
here now, and she put on a
Yes.
great title
Yes,
talk
you
show.
did great.
So we are
Doing great, Britt.
a
No, great job, guys.
yes. So thank you for that. It's been a fun year so far. I
Guys,
can't wait to
keep
see what the
following
rest
us.
of the year
Keep-
has.
You know what? You guys keep feeding us. You keep following us. You keep supporting us, and we're gonna keep doing
I
these
just want
great
kids.
things.
Oh,
This
Miss
is
Othman is chimed in. I'm gonna open back up the dress page just so she can see it.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Look at this, Miss Hoffman. This is all about you. This is
Thank
all
you.
for you.
Thank you.
This is coming to the fine folks at Eisenhower High School, so we can hopefully help some of the girls get ready for prom. And the only thing we missed, we should put inspired logos on, like put a little logo.
This isn't about you. This is about them.
No, this is a great opportunity. I'm glad that you I mean, there's just a lot of dresses here, and you know what? I think that the girls are gonna be happy to have some nice variety to try.
I think
on
so.
everything.
We got a
Should be
little bit
great.
of everything.
This would be absolutely wonderful.
Yes,
So,
thank you, Ms. Othman, for setting this up and giving
Thank you
us
so
the
much.
Thank
the
you
direction
to,
to go
thank
with
you
it.
To you. Yay.
Thank you. All right, so now we're gonna fly into our normalcy of the show
Whatever that is.
with the fun facts.
Fun facts.
It is National Burrito Day.
Ew.
Your thoughts?
Hate them.
Really?
Yeah, I do not like burritos.
Any kind.
Of a none.
See, I am a huge burrito proponent. Yeah,
No, I just.
I love them. I would eat burritos not every day. That's
Okay.
a lot. But I do love burritos.
Oh, well.
It is also National Coffee Cake Day.
Coffee Cake Day.
Shout out to my beautiful sister-in-law Lara for baking
Thanks,
me
Lara.
coffee cake with coffee.
Oh, so it's legit
It's
coffee.
like actual coffee
Ooh.
cake. I know, it's cool.
We will partake.
It is National No Housework Day.
Huh.
So that
I have
means
some thoughts about that.
I do too. But for today, what National No Housework Day is an advocate of is if there's dirty dishes in the sink, let them be dirty for a day.
Right.
Kids' toys out, leave them out.
Sure.
Need to clean the windows? Save it till tomorrow.
Sure.
So National No Housework Day is your chance to just
Chill.
sit back and relax,
Nice.
and everything will be there to clean over the weekend when I'm not home and my husband.
It'll still be there.
It's National Girl Me Too Day.
Ah.
So this was another super cool thing that we were able to do where Brittany had some tricks up her sleeve.
Really
So-
great tricks that she did.
So what National Me Too Day is, it recognizes the strength and endurance of women of all ages and is an opportunity to show support for each other. So what Brittany was able to do was she hand wrote some love notes to all of the women that we work with next door,
So great.
and she sneakily delivered them on their desks to give them
Oh,
something to
what a
come
great
back
idea.
to this morning. She is gonna put a little TikTok together to kind of show her sneakiness, her stealthiness when she
Oh,
was
yeah.
dropping these off.
Yeah.
So
Well received too. A lot of
Well
the ladies-
received.
A lot of the ladies came in this morning and they were very, very pleased and
Yeah.
happy with
And
just getting a little note.
being
Amazing.
able to support women supporting women is a huge thing that I'm a huge advocate of that I'm going to talk about a little bit later.
Good.
And it's National Beer Day.